Colombian indigenous radio stations allied to bring the Chiva Ka'tikunsi to COP16. This typical Colombian bus traveled through different indigenous communities for 8 days before arriving in Cali to attend the UN's Biodiversity Conference.
The Chiva bus is a symbol of resistance for many indigenous people, as it is our method of transportation and the way we travel long distances to take our message to the government.
High-level officials have excluded indigenous communities from conservation efforts. This UN summit hopes to change that, especially this year when it is being held in South America, where indigenous communities have led the struggle to preserve some of the world's most biodiverse habitats. Many indigenous leaders are here, like Alexandra Nervaez, a Goldman Environmental Prize winner for her work in Ecuador, defending indigenous territories from gold mining.
We are raising our voice and saying we do not want any more mining. We do not want all this that ruins our Mother Nature. We want respect and our voice to be heard. If we say no, it is no.
Going into week 2 of COP16, officials announced progress in negotiations on Target 22, which supports the participation of indigenous communities in biodiversity-related policymaking. Signatories of the Global Biodiversity Framework must report any changes in land use and land tenure in the traditional territories of indigenous people and their local communities. A small victory for equity that people like Joana Malagon continue to push for.
We feel we need to reaffirm that ancestral knowledge that we have inherited from our indigenous communities, especially in these types of scenarios where more than 195 countries are participating. We need to remind people that a large portion of the world's protection of biodiversity is at the hands of indigenous communities.
The indigenous peoples consider themselves to be the world's best protectors of the environment, and the evidence supports that. In the Amazon rainforest, for example, research shows that lands managed by indigenous peoples show better conservation results than areas protected by the government. Thanks to the tireless work of indigenous advocates, their achievements are finally receiving wider recognition at international meetings like this one. Michelle Begue, CGTN, Cali, Colombia.